Hey space goers, long time. I just saw you because I've been on a streak recently of posting videos and I hope you've been watching them for some motivation, some art, some creative content, and all around just what you want to view on my channel. My birthday is next week, exactly next week, because today's Friday and I'm turning 24 October the 18th. I've learned a lot over my beginning 20s and now going into my mid and later 20s that I wanted to share with you guys. Recently, I've been on a streak of watching a lot of like how to survive your 20s, how to thrive your 20s, stuff you should know in your 20s, videos of even like older people, like people who are in their 40s, 50s, or anything like that, who are just like, hey, here's some things I wish I knew on my 20s. So I kind of wanted to give my own spin and perspective on it, just from somebody who's like now entering my mid 20s, on what I feel like people should carry on onto like what you need to know while you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, and honestly just for life. I've been through my fair share of my early 20s now, and these are some things that I just wanted to write down to talk about what I feel like I would tell myself. You know, this channel is all about just recording things that I want to remember, things that I want to keep within myself. So let's get into it. Number one, make taking care of yourself your number one priority. And I know, when you think of taking care of yourself, you're like, oh, but I already shower and eat every day and wash my clothes and hair and all that. Cool. So when I say prioritize taking care of yourself, that goes even deeper than the fundamentals that you already do in your everyday life. In like everything that you're putting yourself into, you forget to like buy yourself stuff and that you deserve it. Hey, I should treat myself. I should eat that food that I really wanted. I should make that recipe that I've been eyeing. I should try that thing that I saw on Pinterest because I really want to make it, even though I have no idea how to make it. I think we can get so caught up in wanting to care so much for our needs that when it's like comes to things that we want, we kind of push it in the back of our head, and then like months and months go by and we're like, dang it, I wish I did that thing I really wanted to do in October. Oh, I wish I really went to that place, did that trip that I had time to go on, but it's because I didn't really need to go. Like, what do you desire? You know, like sometimes we gotta play into those desires. Number two, if your heart and your mind are screaming yes, go for it. The answer is yes. I used to struggle with this one a lot because, especially with like people pleasing and like fear of missing out, I was always like, oh man, I'm gonna miss everything if I say no. And I'd even be hesitant because I'd get in those moments where people ask me, oh, do you want to do this thing? And it's not like an infinite yes. Like it's kind of like a, oh, I'm in my head and I don't want to let this person down. Yeah, I'll go, you know, just to please them. And then I end up like being okay with it, or sometimes even having a good time. But most of the time, if you're saying yes to someone out of something that's not a definite yes, like you're like yes automatically when they ask you, then you're taking time away from prioritizing yourself, from prioritizing your needs. And if it's not a definite yes, like somebody asks you and you're instantly at a whiplash, like, heck yeah, dude, we're gonna go do this. In this case, it's more prioritizing yourself by allowing yourself to say no. The worst somebody could say is no, but also the best somebody could say is no. Like, you need time, everything needs time, and you should just allow yourself time to breathe and have those moments that you need, even if you think, oh, this feels selfish, oh, this feels like I'm ignoring them. Good. Sometimes people need to be ignored so you can get to your next thing. They'll be fine. Number two and number three together is 2A. I don't like telling people maybe. I don't like saying maybe because like people have their own perceptions of maybe. Maybe your friends or family, like you have like those certain type of people, and you know when they say maybe, it's feeding more into the no. So you might as well just say no. Maybe is like the sugar-coated, sparkly donut way of just saying no. You shouldn't give people filler words. You shouldn't give people waste of times or wastes of hope. Because what if they're like really looking forward to you coming and you just say, oh, well, maybe I'll be able to make it. Maybe I can think about it. If they ask you immediately and you say, maybe, then it's a no. Because you're not going to think about it again. One and done, out of your head. Unless it's like super far in the future and you need time to think. Now that's understandable. But if it's not a drop of the hat yes in that moment, then it's a no. Number 3. Take time with every single relationship. I like to say this just because I feel like I get like fixated on a certain thing. Like, let's say I've been having like a lot of girls' nights and I get fixated on this friend group. So much to the point where like my friends are on the other side are like, hey buddy, we haven't seen you in a while. But then I'd have moments where I'm like thinking of them and I don't text them or anything. Prioritize all your circles. Like when you're thinking about your friends, text them. When you're thinking about somebody, call them. Like don't miss out on those moments. And then my whole thing too is like even with relationships, I feel like everybody can get like really over their head, like goo goo gaga over somebody instantly, especially whenever, you know, you get a girlfriend, boyfriend, they, them, friend, like you get really like, ooh, new shiny thing. Come here, I don't need anybody else, no friends, everything. We gonna be locked in a box together. Let's slow down and chill a little bit. Dissect what you guys have, like everything like that, but in every relationship too. Like all of this is all a part of your story, all a part of exploration. So take your time. There's no need to rush. I mean, you still have the future and beyond way ahead of you. This moment isn't going to be all of your right now. Take time curating your story. Number 4, notice when habits are forming and breaking. Recently stopped vaping 10 months ago, and I feel really strong. When I first stopped vaping, it was like a struggle to get in the gym. Like I was like crawling to the gym, like army crawling, like, oh, I gotta go to the gym again. Oh, I'm gonna have those sore brittle bones because I gotta get on that treadmill. Now it's like something that really clears my head. Like if I don't go to the gym, now I'm like, okay, no, because now I'm mad. Something and then using something to like regain that strength. And then especially for me, like once I stopped smoking, I got really into bubblegum. And now every time one of my friends are with me, they're like, hey, you got gum? Because I always got gum now. With everything too, like let's say you really get into books, you really get into video games, but it's messing with your sleep. Now your sleeping habit is falling into your work. Now you're not doing so good at your work. So now you're starting to have a caffeine habit, like anything like that. I feel like it's always good to just like recognize any of your habits, good or bad, just to see where you can work better on yourself. Our habits do stick to us and become a part of our lives and a part of our life cycles. So sometimes it's good to break that cycle and start something anew, especially if you notice you're kind of getting too obsessed with it. Like when it's like you should be free to just live without it. Number 5. If it feels like everybody's looking really hard at you, it's because you're looking really hard at yourself. It really took me a long time just because I used to be like really in my head. I still kind of am at certain points, but not as much as I was. Started college, so maybe like 5 years ago. My biggest fear was like looking too good, like having too much of the best makeup, too much of the best outfits, because I just didn't want people to stare. Like it felt like everybody was looking at me because I couldn't stop judging myself. If I do da 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 da, people are gonna stare. I mean, cool, people got eyes, so everybody's gonna see everything, especially if it's like a big thing. And look inwards to know that it's something that you have to work on yourself. Everybody in actuality is not at this party with the magnifying glass like, who is that? Okay, what is that? Like, in actuality, it's just you in the back of your head being like, why am I walking like this? Oh my God, look at my shoulders. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. If that's what's happening when you're outside in the world, it's just you. And you need to talk to you because you're the only one who's going to be with you the most. Number 6. The thought of holding you back is going to hold you back every single time. I really want to do this thing, but I shouldn't do this thing because then if I do this thing is going to happen. If you're thinking like that and it's not like a like here, there, everywhere kind of thing, then you're going to hold yourself back. 7. Allow yourself to explore every facet of yourself. The fear of not knowing what to do is holding you back. The fear of being judged for being new at something is holding you back. You're holding yourself back because you don't have those materials, you don't have those things. And then sometimes, if you're like me, you're gonna spend money on those things, that yarn, that brush, sewing needle, like whatever you got going on. You're gonna spend money on those things, and then you're gonna be like, oh, well, now that I have all the expensive stuff, I can start when you didn't even try to begin with. And I have something that's collecting dust on the shelf because now you put money into it, but now you don't want to put time into it because you think, wham, bam, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna be perfect the first try. Well, this is gonna take time to learn. This is gonna take time to do. That is the point. You need those time-consuming tasks, those time-consuming things to get closer to yourself, to have hobbies, feel good about things, and then just learn that all that you can. We're always going to be expanding and growing. And especially in your 20s, it's the time that you learn every facet of yourself. So my facets right now are making art, filming YouTube videos, like dressing up, wearing cool clothes, keeping my space clean, and just organizing planners, like anything that has to do with writing. I'm really into it. And so whenever I find something else that like adds to that, like I'll try it out. Like I tried calligraphy. Didn't like it. Some people can, and that's really cool, but not me. But I like the fact that like I've at least like explored those options, and I'm going to continue to learn like what is it about me? What more should I learn? If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. This is the end, and I just want to tell you, you should like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.